What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video on Electric Talks. Hopefully you guys are having a great day whenever you guys are seeing this video. I apologize because I look, actually kind of always look this bad. Anyways, folks, tomorrow I'm gonna be attempting to run 35 miles in one day, in one session. And my big goal this year, I've talked a lot about it on my Instagram, is to obviously do an Ironman, but my other big goal that I want to do is to eventually be able to run 50 miles in one day. So this is like the first little, kind of not so little step in the process of that. So I'm gonna be waking up tomorrow early in the morning and I'm gonna try to crush this run. Tomorrow's also Valentine's Day, so I'm gonna be filming a little something for Christy and I's channel. Hopefully things go the way that I want them to go. I'm not really gonna be doing too much tonight to really prepare for it. Pretty much go about things like usual. I did ride about 50 miles today, and then I just got done with a little walk. I'm gonna wake up tomorrow at around 7 a.m. My goal time is to be able to get this done in under 5 hours, but we'll see what happens. But anyways, I'm gonna knock out some work right now, and then I will be getting dinner started, and then sleep, and then it's time to run. All right, so work is done. I got some brown rice, just finished cooking. It's gonna be delicious. I also got some salmon. I tried cooking it in the pot tonight instead of just straight up baking it. So we'll see how it came out. Ooh. Got some slow cooked lemon salmon. Alrighty guys, so I'm about halfway through this run right now. Definitely not as recovered as I probably should be, but surprisingly, I'm holding an 8-minute 30 pace, just like I wanted, which is kind of mind-blowing. If I hold this for the rest of the run, I'll have this down in under 5 hours. 4 hours and 57 minutes to be exact. Just gotta keep pushing. Last few miles, this is where it hurts the most. It's really when you gotta dig deep and finish strong. This is where you gotta execute. .1 miles, 4 hours, 58 minutes and 25 seconds. I averaged 8 minutes and 29 seconds per mile, just over 2,000 feet of elevation. I can't even really talk right now, guys, but I'll check in with you guys in a little bit. I'm so glad you got this. Alright you guys, so I really quickly wanted to just do a quick recap of my 35-mile run. It's obviously a few days later. Like I mentioned earlier, I actually ended up filming a video for TheElectrics. There's a lot of food in that video, and I'll show you a few snippets of it right now. Panera and pizza. Now, for those of you who don't come to this channel strictly for food stuff and wanna know my mentality when it comes to doing things like this and wanna know the details about the run and wanna know more about my future goals and all that, here's all that for you. I posted this on my social media the day that I did it. Now, the main question that I got from people after I posted this on Instagram was, how did you feel during this and how did you feel after this? My answer might surprise you. I didn't really feel all that bad during this run. In fact, I could have gone a little bit longer than 35 miles. The thing that always seems to get me when I do these really, really long runs isn't really my cardio. It comes down to just the pain in my joints. It comes down to my feet really just starting to have that dull ache, and then that ache turns into a pain, almost becomes unbearable. And with each step, it hurts more and more and more and more. And a lot of people just look at these runs and they just say, oh, well, you're so close to 35, why can't you just do 40? Believe it or not, I got a few people actually saying that to me. When I see people say stuff like that, I don't really think people understand how much that actually is to me mentally. Just to say, oh, why don't you just run, 5 extra miles after you've already done 35 is like saying, why don't you run an extra 200 miles? Because mentally, that's what it feels like. I probably could have done 1 or 2 more miles, but that is just, it's crazy to even think that. A few months ago, I think it was actually for Cheatsgiving on my main channel, I actually ran 32.5 miles. At the time, that was my longest run that I'd ever done in my entire life. And since then, I've tried a handful of times to run longer than that. And every single time that I get to that 30-mile mark, it always seems to hit me. That dull ache in my feet and then my knees, and then just these little things start to creep up and they start to hit me. And I feel like we all run into those mental barriers with whatever we're doing in life, whether it's a run, a ride, anything. And I try to relate this to non-training as well. But those mental barriers are really so strong. And when it all boils down to it, and what I'm talking about here is really just a number in my head. And once I realized that that's just a number in my head that's making me second guess myself, it held less and less power over me. And so on Sunday, when I looked down and I saw that I was at 31 miles ran, I was already over that 30-mile mark. And physically and mentally, I felt capable. I felt like I was able to do it. And I knew that I was going to get to where I wanted to go, which is accomplishing 35 miles ran. That's all I needed right there. And once I realized that number was really just a number in my head, it didn't matter anymore. Looking back on things, I'm extremely proud of myself for doing that run, and I'm really I can't really say I'm looking forward to running 40 miles, but that's gonna be next on the agenda. I'm gonna go ahead and put a little screenshot of my splits for you guys, because I know runners out there would wanna know that, so it'll probably be like right there or right over there. Comparing this to the last big run that I did, which was the longest for me at the time, a few months ago in November, always seemed to fall apart, like I said, at that 30-mile mark. The part that I'm most happy with was the fact that throughout this run, I held the pace that I wanted to hold. And I never deviated from that. I never slowed down. I was as proud of that as I am of doing 35 miles. Because anybody out there that runs knows that it's extremely hard to run at a certain pace, and especially for hours upon hours. And I'm just really glad that I was able to get this done in under 5 hours. As far as my heart rate goes, I was in zone 2 for about 52% of the time. I was in zone 3 for almost 48% of the time. So that was a very brutal run for sure. But I wanted it, and I ended up getting to where I wanted to be, which is running 35 miles. Next, like I mentioned earlier, is most likely going to be me attempting to run 40 miles. And just in case you guys care or are curious, I don't walk during these. I got a few questions from people on Instagram asking me if I walk. I don't walk, but during the 40-mile one, I might have to walk. I don't know why. Maybe you guys out there can relate to this as well, but like whenever you're going for a run and you're trying to run whatever it is, miles, I just feel like I'm gonna get there faster if I don't walk, and B, I feel like that's kind of like throwing in the towel a little bit. But it's just all me just being me. I don't know. That's just kind of my thoughts on that. I believe I also mentioned it in a past video, or it could have been in this one. I can't really remember at this time. But the overarching goal this year is to run 50 miles. That would just be, it's gonna be brutal, but I really wanna try to do that. Another goal that recently came into my mind is possibly doing the David Goggins 4x4 by 48 challenge, which essentially means you have to run 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours, which is 24 miles in one day, but you're not getting any sleep, or you're getting very, very little sleep. That sounds absolutely brutal. I don't know if you guys have heard that before, but that might just be next on my agenda. I think it starts at the beginning of March, so I would probably need to do that pretty quickly. But anyways, everyone, I wanted to make a video and show you guys, you know, another day in the life for me, which was it was a brutal one, but I got through it. I'm still going at it. I'm still trying to achieve my goals and just doing everything I can. But now I'm hungry. I want to go make some food. So for tonight's shenanigans, I really don't have too much up my sleeve. I know I've done a few recipes on this channel, and you know, things have been hit or miss. I tried to make pizza. Tonight, I'm just actually gonna try a recipe that I saw a few weeks ago on BuzzFeed while scrolling through Instagram. I'm also gonna be making shrimp tacos. Those are pretty easy, but this recipe is actually like smashed potatoes. They looked really delicious, so I'm gonna try to replicate it without looking at the recipe. So this is probably gonna go terribly, but who knows? It might just actually be delicious. Now we'll put it in the oven and see what happens. That's crazy. They are nice and crispy too. Look at that. I'm telling you guys right now, tacos are where it's at. Tastes even better when you have homemade pico de gallo on top of them. There's nothing like a shrimp taco. I really need to start making my own tortillas. No words. So everyone, I've made a lot of things with potatoes in my life, but this has got to be the tastiest. Next time, I'm gonna try to throw some cheese on and see how it comes out. But the thing that I love most about these is the crunch. Hot. There's a fire. Alrighty folks, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, it would mean the world to me if you gave the video a like, and subscribe to the channel if you guys have not subscribed already, if you guys are ready for more Electric Talks videos. And without further ado, everyone, I will see you guys in the next video.